How have you spoken to clients about, okay, it seems like recording, with professional cameras and lights and microphones, it's got to be crazy expensive. My marketing budget's, on the minimum, and I know I've got to potentially spend against some social media ads to get the word out about my business. What's sort of your view on the overall cost?
Speak about it from a personal perspective. So I start with, I used to have a tripod with my iPhone standing on my desk at home, trying to put out something engaging and
Right.
failing miserably because I was worried about how I looked, all the things, right? And then the tech involved, and then to go and edit it on the background to make it look like, because I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses of other influencers or content creators, right? And do all the things. And it just became overwhelming and demotivating. So if I think, if we use the example of a real estate broker again, they're all over the place. They've got to be out there generating leads, doing all the stuff that goes into listing a house. They may not have time to do all that content. And if you and I both know, if you get behind on your schedule, all of a sudden you're not being consistent, right? And that's going to affect whether it's Instagram or YouTube or whatever the platform is. You've got to show up consistently. And so to your point earlier, you can come in and be in a professional setting and just sit down and go and let somebody else handle all the tech. And I can help, bring them along and say, there's value in this. You don't have to go get all this equipment. You just come in, sit down, don't worry about anything except what you're going to say. And to me, and then your point earlier, again, you've got a month's worth of content there, right, in one session. And so if you think about it that way and actually divide up the time, then it's suddenly very affordable if you come out with, say, 20 pieces of content for, I'm going to throw a number out, $300, right? Or whatever it is, maybe a little bit more depending on what the customer wants. That's valuable there, right? It's also in time, but also other investments you don't have to make from a tech standpoint.
Agree. And when you divide that cost into, because okay, the flyers, those cost money. Like you said, they're not cheap. Those tchotchkes, but that's sort of almost a one-on-one sort of communication channel where you can't compare the reach that you're going to get of your message,
Right.
if you have a 15-30 second video clip, 3 times a week or 2 times a week on your channels. You put a little money behind that, and I'm talking about minimal money on Meta or Google, and you're reaching thousands of people. So you
Yeah.
got to take that into the equation as well from a reach perspective.
100%. And then, I mean, if you take it to the next step, right? If somebody is really showing up consistently on YouTube and everything, and they want to work toward getting monetized, right? That can create, again, to your point about evergreen content, that could start making money for you over time, right? And it's passive income. So, that could be a built-in side hustle almost, where you're doing your J job and I'm doing all this stuff over here, but then it's also making me some money because I'm adding value to that potential customer.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually work with, or I'm going to start to work with a local influencer here in town, and she sort of lives in that Instagram world. She can has gone to every possible restaurant in town, and she's absolutely a beloved sort of authority on. And she's also a real estate agent, and she's
Okay.
starting her own channel on YouTube, but it's not necessarily I wouldn't call it necessarily a podcast, but it is a show that she's going to be doing on a weekly basis, providing sort of that education about real estate, how you go about it. And she's doing it in both English and Spanish, which I think is really smart. And just sort of building upon sort of the following that she's already achieved, and seeing how this is a different sort of revenue stream for her, and that this is the way to grow this new revenue stream for her apart from what she's doing on the influencer side.
And you never know. Yeah, she's a real estate broker in Dallas, but say she's going to get other reach beyond the metroplex, and people could be subscribing to her channel because they enjoy her, right? Maybe they refer somebody to her because of that, even if they don't live in Texas, right? Or she monetizes because she's got good content, and now to me it's a win-win. And I love things that you can double dip on, I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
This video was recorded and produced by Just Talk Studios, the premier video podcasting studio in Bellevue, Washington. Visit justtalkstudios.com to learn more and book your session today.